Today is Monday, September 1st, 2025, which is also Yom Sheni, the second day of the week, and it is the 8th day in the month of Elul, 5785. The weekly Torah portion is Ki Teitzei. Today's Daf Yomi is Avodah Zarah 75. And this is the PL-89 Gematriatic Quantum Thought Calendar that is both a lunar and solar calendar, and a Gematriatic Thought Calendar, which is a calendar that seeks to understand time through Gematria. And today, which is September 1st, the first of the month always needs to be in box number 23. It doesn't matter what month, because at different times this changes the month. I mean, this past dispensation, this first section here has been the month of August and Av. Av would be a different day than August, and I think it was +6. And now we're going into +6 means that either the Gregorian calendar you need to add 6, or the Hebrew calendar you need to add 6 in order to get equal to the other one. Like, let's just say it was the 20th of August. It would be the 26th of Av. Okay, that's why Rosh Chodesh, the first of Elul, was August 26th, but then it was actually Aleph of Elul. August 26th was Aleph Elul. And the box number for September 1st is 23, which is G4. That's easy for me to remember. 23. The coordinate is G, column G, and row 4. Okay? And 23 is the same as 63, is the same as 103, is the same as 143. 23 is the same as 63 is 103, is 143, is 183, 203, 220. Wait a minute. 23 plus 40 is 63. 63 plus 40 is 103. 103 plus 40 is 143. 143 is 183 is 223. Correct. Yeah. I'll make sure I'm adding up correctly. 23 is the same as 63, is the same as 103, is 143. Basically, I think you've got the pattern that anytime you add 40, it's always going to stay in this box. That means if I encounter the number 143, then I'm in this box. If I encounter the number 2,023,023, I'm in this box. Because just add 40. That's the rule of 40 in this calendar. And 40 is not just adding 40. 40 is how this calendar is made, because it's made by adding 8 plus 9, and it cuts off at 40. So 40 is very thematic in this calendar. And 23 is 223. And what's really interesting is that one of the systems in this PL-89 calendar, it's meant to do a few things, but there's something in Jewish thought or rabbinics, a study called Soda Ibur, the secret of intercalations. And this is basically the math behind, and the science and the math behind when we make leap years. Leap years happen 7 times in a 19-year Metonic cycle, the Jewish calendar, and the math that goes behind that. It's called the Sota Ibor. It's more than that. It has to do with lunar cycles and other things, but it's called the Sota Ibor, the secret of intercalation. Interestingly enough, the word Sota Ibor, if you spell it ayin base, if you spell it ayin base vav resh Ibor without the yud, it's 363, which equals HaMashiach. So it was said that the calendar that was fixed in 300 something by Hillel the Lesser, it was said that this calendar will go until Mashiach comes. So it's interesting that Sota Ibor is Gematria Mashiach, HaMashiach, and that's part of this calendar work. And like I said before, 23 can be 223, it can also be 623 or 823. Just add 40. And so 223, the words plus 7 reality, that's the name that I give for the reality, the status of the difference between the Gregorian date and the Hebrew date. Like today is the 1st of Elul, 1st of September, and it's the 8th of Elul. So what's the difference? How do you equate them? The difference is 7, right? September 1 plus 7 equals Elul 8. Therefore, it's called, in this calendar mapping system, calendar mathematical system, is called a plus 7 reality. We're right now, for the next however long will be, next month or so, until the end of the month, but whatever comes, English or Hebrew, whichever comes first, then it will be like a plus 25 reality or plus 26, whatever, because it's 1 plus that, it's already late in the month. But it's called a plus reality because we're in that reality now. Last month we were in a plus 6 reality. In June it was a plus 4 reality. I think in July also was a plus 4 reality. So the theory is that because the energies have numbers and the difference between the two creates a kind of a certain kind of energy. So right now we're in a plus 7 energy, and it's energy of memory as well. So do you know the last time when we were in, according to my records, the last time we were in a plus 7 energy, it was in the beginning of the year 2023. Can you kind of, let's go back there, 2023, January it was like that, plus 7, and March of 2023. And think about the energy of those months. And the theory that I'm working with is that the energy there is something similar to now. I mean, by definition, the mathematical number is the same, but it's a leap to say that something about the atmosphere is similar too. I'm making the leap by saying the fact that the number is the same has something to do with the whole everything. The atmosphere, the feeling of the time, the energy, the frequency, the resonance, that basic idea. That number signifies all the above. So right now, the theory of this calendar is saying that we've entered September 2025. With relation to the Hebrew calendar, we're in the same configuration, as it were, as March of 2023. I'm seeing that month, seeing that whole month, and I'm seeing January 23, that whole month. Yeah. Something about now is the same. I don't know if you relate to that, if you resonate with that. That's the theory. And I've been doing this since the turn of the decade. I was doing this since 2020. So that was a great time to start because you have an even decade to really do a study and to see. Like a few months ago, it was the same. I think as we were about to go into the summer. Oh, yeah. During the wartime, if you remember, in Israel here, I think we're still in the war, but I'm saying when the missiles were coming, and in the bomb shelter, that was for 12 days. That was a real annoying thing. Air raid sirens are going all the time. People running to shelters. After a Friday night meal, the air raid siren would go in, and we'd go into the. I mean, it was just really inconvenient. Not to mention, some people were really, scared by it. I mean, for me, I don't know. Thank God I felt the protection a lot. So, and many people did too. But some people were really, really scared, and other things might really scare me. But that thing didn't scare me that much. But it was annoying for sure. I'll give you that. Anyway, that was the same. That was a +4 reality, and I think that when Corona came out back in 2020 in March, it was also the same distance. It was a +4. So I saw a connection between the two, the Israel war and the Corona. They're both kind of traumatic events. So that's the idea that I'm working with on this. It's my own way to tune into the Soda Ibur. And so we're looking at 23. 223 is the numerical value of the word +7 reality. But you could also say that in my writing, in the formulas, it goes G +7 equals H. G stands for Gregorian, and H stands for Hebrew. So G +7 means September is G. G +7, September +7, equals H, because today's the 8th of Elul. So if you write G, all in English letters, G +7, SEVEN, if you write it all out in letters, equals H, it equals 223. So it's interesting that on the day that we enter that reality, the numerical value of the statements that correspond to it have that same number. So that's really neat. And I think there's something to it. There's something to the fact that the statement that you say has the same number as the time that it is on the clock, the same, and it should ideally match up with all the things. Like the phone number should match up what time it is, should match up to the statement, and that's sort of like getting things more streamlined. In my cosmology, or my metaphysics and mathematics that I'm working with, when these things line up, it's called the Gematriona. When you get into the Gematriona, you're into this synchronicity where things are aligning, because you could look at the price and it cost $3.51. Now I look at the clock, and guess what? It's $3.51. And then I look at my calendar here, and guess what? It's $3.51. And then I'm in my ledger there, my daily sheet, and surprise, I'm at number 351 there too. That's the idea. When you can, and now, if you know the gematria 351, then you get a good message, because they all line up. You know someone's telling you something. You know you're getting a message of 351. Because who else could make those things line up? That's the idea behind the Gematria thought calendar. And so that's one for 23. So 23 is 23, 223, 423, 623, 823, 1023. Johnny Carson's birthday, October 23rd. I'm not sure what that means, but I know someone's birthday is 1023. Yeah. Right. Okay, now that's as far as September 1st goes. But we're also on Rabi Alawal. Rabi Alawal is the third month of the Islamic calendar, and it's the 9th day of Rabi Alawal in the year 1447 on the Hijri calendar, which started back in the time when Muhammad came from Mecca and went and migrated to Medina. The funky Kol Medina. There's a song like that a while back. The funky Kol Medina. But 3 is the 8th day of Elul. Yeah? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, it is. So that means that 3 is 43, that's Mark. 83 is Jonathan. 123, okay. 163, 203, artificial intelligence. 243, I don't know. 283, I don't know. Oh yeah, 283 is Ozer. With a vav there. It's 283. Melech Vaizel Moshe. Yeah, Ozer is 283. And 323, 363. HaMashiach. So there you were, 363. See? They come back around again. Things tend to come around. But, so I have this thing. So basically what it's used for is, and here's when I make the plug. If you listen this far, then you might have found this interesting. And so far, not many people have found it interesting because the amount of views are like the average of like 5 or 3 or whatever. But, some are more, some are 10. I think one time I had 10 views. But anyway, here's a project. It's a gematriatic siddur project. If you look at every word, you'll see that the gematria is written on top of it. Now imagine, for you gematria lovers out there, if you think and you really feel that gematrias are kavanot, they're kavanas. You have siddurim. It's like shar ha-kavanas. The Kabbalists had siddurim with kavanas in it. Different. The Rashash, different, the kavanas of, but what people that really understand, that really love gematria, a gematria is its own kavana. And I don't think to date this has been done before. It hasn't been done. And here's where I make an appeal to any person who is of means, who wants to fund a project and is interested in a gematriatic siddur, a gematriatic chumash, which means that have your art scroll and you have your English and your Hebrew. This will be Hebrew and number. Every word in the Chumash, every word in the Siddur or Gemara or any Judaica text will be translated into a number, and that is Gematria at a whole different level. That's the next level Gematria, where, from what I've seen, most people are not into it that level. Most people just don't even care about that, and just way too many numbers. What are you going to do with it? But if you are into gematria a lot, there's no such thing as too many numbers. Every single thing is a number. As long as you're thinking, there's another number. And so I think that people who would be interested in that, I would offer to, if you would like to commission me to do that, I'd be honored. It'd be a privilege to get a project. Basically, living expenses. I live very simply. Like $500 a week would be good, and yeah, $500-600 a week. Maybe $600, whatever. I don't want to get too into it, but whatever you feel is right. But the idea would be that I could make a siddur for you. I would work on it all day. I'd be just doing gematrias all day, and then at the end of a year or so, you'd have an entire siddur, all the davening, and we'd kind of get, maybe if I could work on it with somebody, that'd be great. And yeah, so now on the Hebrew calendar it's 3. So what's 3? I have to look through the siddur. I have to say what's 3. If I see 43, if I see 83, if I see 123. Okay, here we go. In Az Yashir, you have Vaya'aminu. Here's a good example. Vaya'aminu would be in the same thing as 3. Because 3 is 43, is 83, is 123. All plus 40. So Vaya'aminu. And they believed. Okay? You come down, you're in the Az Yashir, you're saying all the words, you have your 263, is in the same line. Right? Vayomru. Vayomru le'mor. Ashir l'Adonai ki ga'o ga'a sus v'rachvo rama bayam. Ozi v'zimunat ya v'him lishua. Ze eli ve'anvehu. Elohei avi va'aro memeno. Adonai ish milchama. Stop right there. Milchama equals 123. It means war. So the word milchama, war, is the same numerical value as vaya'aminu, and they believed. What can we derive from here? Is there a war about belief right now? Yes, there is. Always has been. There's always a war about what we believe and what we should believe and what we think we believe. There's a connection. Guess what? Surprise, surprise, they have the same number. Do you see how gematria works? The word war, as in spiritual warfare, and they believed, has the same number. Why does it have the same number? Because they're comparable conceptually. That's how gematria works. If they have the same number, then you look at the two words and you say, how are they connected? Now, they're not always going to do that, but here's a case where many would agree that this is a direct connection. Okay, we go onwards. We scan it down. I'm looking for a number that's in the line of 3. In the line of 3, I'm scanning down. I'm scanning down now. I don't see anything. Lie, 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 lie. Lie, 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 lie. Yeah, 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 yeah. 3, anything? I think by now you probably got the idea, if you haven't turned it off a long time ago. All right. And see here. I don't see anything in the line of... Oh! Be'alma. In Aramaic, in the Kaddish, it says Yitkadav Yitkadash Merabah. Okay, which is 203, which is in the line of 3. And then Be'alma is 143. It's also in line of 3, right? 3, 43. Oh. 3, 43, 83. No, it's not. 203 is, but 143 is not. 243 would be. Okay, Bra, Rabah is great, and Bra is to create. Same letters. 203. I think that's it for now. I mean, I can't really find anything more. I don't want to take up too much more time. So I think you got the idea. So we'll call it a day. Yeah.